This is the Muddy Boots Podcast, a podcast for those who have been or are stuck in the mud. Building a community of those who are with each other all the way. Hello and welcome to the Muddy Boots Podcast. I am your host, Matt.
And I am Roger.
And we are here in Roger's office.
Yes.
It's a little bit disarray right now. I think we could all guess why that is.
Because I'm messy?
That and?
I'm retiring tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
That one? Yeah.
That one. And tomorrow is relative to when this will actually come out, but that doesn't really matter.
At the time of this filming.
The time of this filming. So that's some big news.
Yeah.
And obviously that's something that is now public knowledge. Exactly. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing this.
We wouldn't be doing this. Yeah.
But that's been quite a journey. So I thought in response to your retirement that we would go through some of the history of you and the Y and just talk about what brought you from then to now, the impact you've had, maybe some of the stories along the way.
Okay.
And just have a little bit of fun with that. Let people know, because not everybody knows your history with the Y.
Right.
But obviously they've felt the enormous impact of what you've brought to this organization. So we'll jump right in.
Sure.
How'd you start at the Y?
Oh, that's a great question. Back in the day when I was inside the walls of a church, we used to have this, it was an ecumenical group. You know, all the pastors in town would get together, every Thursday morning at 8 o'clock at one of the churches, and we'd drink coffee, eat pastries, whatever. We would encourage one another and empower and pray for one another. Basically, that's pastor talk for a bunch of guys getting together at 8 o'clock every Thursday, drinking coffee and bitching that nobody's going to church.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were all running the come and see model. Come and see, you'll like it and stay. Well, guess what? Nobody was coming and nobody was seeing. So we were talking about that, and so in the midst of it, I'm that guy that gets nudges from God. Okay, so I'll back up so you understand my nudges. I came home one day. I had a great day in ministry, Matt. A wonderful day. I mean, it was fabulous. And I'm patting myself on the back, right?
Sure.
You're doing God's work. And I walked through the door and nobody's home. And this is before we all had cell phones. And we had a phone recorder and a phone.
Yeah.
The phone's ringing.
Okay.
I go and I answer it. Why would you think I would answer it?
Because your phone's ringing and it's your house?
And I'm thinking it's somebody I want to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say, hello. And the voice on the other end of the line says, hi, my name's Mike, and I'm from AT&T. Do you have a minute? And I go, no, I really don't. Is this a good time? No, it really isn't a good time. We go back and forth for a little bit. Finally, I hang up in a huff.
Okay.
That's how I ended my... And the little voice goes, all Michael was doing was his job. You weren't doing yours.
Ooh.
I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, right?
Yeah.
Cut me some slack. And so I'm sitting there, and that voice just gets silent and lets me sit in it. And I go, fine. I said, God, the next time a person calls me like that, I'm going to go, I'm so happy you called. I'll promise I'll listen to whatever it is you have. I may even buy whatever it is you have to sell. If you allow me to pray with you and share the good news of Jesus Christ. And the little voice goes, that works for me.
Okay.
I'm pretty happy with myself because I outsmarted God, right? Who's going to hate you? You're going to get the click, right?
Oh, yeah.
We can't get people to come to church. Now I want them to. Yeah. So I'm all happy. I was fine. Next night, we have the Bible study in my living room. Okay? Phone rings. Well, I'd already told everybody what had happened. And they're all like, answer the phone, Roger, answer the phone. And I'm like, okay. I go, hello. And this tentative voice goes, hello, Mr. Butler. And right there I knew. There was another one. It was that same, this is Michael from AT&T.
It was the same guy.
It was the same guy, very scared. And I went, oh, Michael, I'm so glad you called. I promise I'll listen intently to whatever it is you have to say. I may even buy whatever it is you have to sell. At first, you allow me to pray with you and share the good news of Jesus Christ. And he gets quiet and he goes, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what do I do now?
Now I have to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah. And so I did. 20 minutes later, he accepts the Lord. I'm like, how did this? And he's like, I'm going to call you. I said, call me every day. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited. And this is in front of the whole Bible study, right? And these people are all like, whoa. And so, funny thing, the phone starts ringing off the hook. I go over to a friend's house, and the phone would ring at their house. They'd just hand me the phone.
Wow.
I was over at a friend's house one time. We were 2 hours on the phone with this guy selling timeshares from Florida. And I go, his name was Tom. And I go, Tom, you're going to have to sell me something. You're going to get, he goes, oh, this job sucks, Roger. This job's horrible. But what you're talking about is really important. Can I call you back tomorrow? And I go, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this goes on for a number of months. And I'm having fun. And one day I'm home in the middle of the day. Because everybody knows pastors only work on Sunday.
One day.
Yeah, one day. For an hour and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
And phone rings. I answer it. I'm all excited. It goes, hello, Mr. Button. And I had that. She got my name right.
Yeah.
She got my name right. She had very authoritative command. And it sounded like she's talking into a speaker. So I'm thinking, oh, I got somebody training people, right? And I said to her, she goes, hello, Mr. Button, this is Marcia from AT&T. And I go, oh, Marcia, I'm so glad you, she goes, stop right there. Do you realize you're wasting my people's time? And I'm thinking to myself, these people called my house.
Yeah.
And she's yelling at me for talking to them after they called me. They could have hung
How
up.
could you?
I know. And I'm sitting there going, okay. She goes, you don't understand. My people have a job to do. And I go, oh, I understand it fully. I said, but your problem is you see, you guys called the pastor and, well,
I have a job
to do too. So, Marcia, I'm so glad you called. I promise I'll listen intently to whatever you have to say. I may even buy whatever it is you have to sell. At first, you allow me to pray for you and share the good news of Jesus Christ. Marcia, do we have a contract? She goes, no, and hung up on me.
Click.
One of the things was I didn't have to get mad. I didn't have to go to Salem down there to put my name on a no-call list.
Right.
I didn't have to do any of that. They blacklisted me. But the only problem was now I wanted them to call me.
Right.
So what would I do? We'd get, back in the day, you'd get magazines in the mail, and they'd have those little cards. I'd fill out the cards on it. Pretty soon they'd be calling me again. Mm-hmm. Then they realized who it was, and they'd forget. The saddest day of my life was when, this is now with cell phones, I got a robotic. I go,
yeah.
I'm so glad you called, and just kept talking.
Yep.
I went, I can't do this anymore. So that's how God uses me and nudges me into things. So when he nudged me to move out, I went to my board and said, God's nudging me to move out in front of the church. And they go, oh, we like that. Yeah, we'll put you in a coffee shop. And you can do your thing in the coffee shop. I said, perfect. So I was one of those first coffee shop ministries.
Oh, right? Is that right?
Yeah. And so the coffee shop's dead and gone now, but yeah, I would go there, and it was a fabulous symbiotic relationship. Fabulous.
Was this a coffee shop they owned or a coffee shop?
No, it was a coffee shop. It was called Sherwood
Just
Coffee.
a neighborhood coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they sold coffee. I drank coffee. They sold pastries. I ate pastries. Mm-hmm. people would come to talk to me and buy coffee and pastries. They loved that. So for a few months, I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
Until the little voice goes, I asked you to go and be. All you did was go and create another come and see.
Mm.
So I did what every good pastor would do. I got angry. I said, fine, I'm going to call up the YMCA.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if they've got a job. So I call them up. I said, you got any jobs available? And they go, yeah, we have weight room monitor. I said, what is it? And they told me, I said, oh, I'll take it. They go, not so fast, cowboy. We need to interview you, and you need to bring in a resume. I'm thinking, resume? It's 4 hours a week, minimum wage, janitorial.
Right.
Okay. So I set up a time. I go in to meet with them. They sit down, this little panel. That's how the Y does it. Little panel of people.
Yeah.
And they looked at my resume. And they said, oh, you're vastly overqualified for this. I said, well, isn't that my decision? They go, I don't think you understand. This is janitorial. I go, I can read a JD. They go, you don't get it. You're going to be wiping down machines people have been sweating on. I go, yeah. And you don't have a problem with that. And I go, if Jesus Christ can wash feet, I can wipe down a sweaty machine. They looked at me and said, okay, we'll give you a shot. But I don't want you passing out any church
See if you
tracts.
can cut it.
Yeah. I said, okay. So I went up the next morning, and I go up the stairs because the cardio deck was upstairs, and there's a lady on the treadmill, and she's just pounding, and it's running hard, and she's crying and crying. And I go, wow, these people are working on their bodies, but they're not working on their stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? After about 3 months of this, Dave King comes up to me. He was now he was a VP of operations now. And he goes, Roger, you ever think about being a chaplain in the Y? And I go, no. Well, let's talk. And so he came up with this thing. It sounded pretty cool. So I went to my boss at, back in the Friends and said, hey, this is what they like. He thought it was a great idea. So the running joke was my preaching was so bad he'd do anything to get me out of the pulpit.
Oh, my gosh.
And so I started at the Y.
So you were doing both?
I was doing both.
Okay.
But then we had to back me out of the church as I got more and more into the Y.
Sure.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
I was actually feeling I was really where I was supposed to be.
And what year is this?
2006.
Okay. So you started in the chaplaincy capacity in 2006. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that journey start? Because obviously it was a lot different than I'm sure.
Oh, it was. So the way they figured they could pay for it was they gave me a teen center.
Okay.
Made me a teen director and chaplain. And so the Schnitzers had built this teen center or donated the money or whatever. And
is it part of the Y? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I walk in there, there's 4 kids. It's a 2,000 square foot teen center. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
4 kids. I said, where is everybody? Oh, they've been banished for bad behavior.
Okay.
Oh. And how's that working out? Right? And so the first thing I did is I went to all the churches. And you're a pastor. Youth pastors, like we like to call them youth pastors, usually get a stipend if they're getting anything.
Yeah.
There's no insurance. There's nothing there. But they work them.
And they work hard.
And so I went to all the pastors. I said, listen, if you allow me to hire your youth pastors for a few hours a week, part-time, I will give them insurance. They'll have things. You can look at it as an outreach for your church. Well, a lot of churches didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Really?
Yeah. But the ones that did had strong youth programs already. Wonder why. And so I hired these kids that were basically the Pied Pipers, right? They were rock stars and whatnot. And I went to the schools. I said, hey, is there any way we can volunteer? They go, yeah, we need lunchroom monitors. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll volunteer lunchroom monitors. So we were in all the schools, lunchroom monitors. And we're meeting up. And we had a bus. And so we would park the bus at the schools we had which school we'd be to at what time.
Yeah.
And we would bus the kids to the Y. And within less than a year, we had over 400 kids in that teen center.
Wow.
It was crazy. The city had built a brand new library in City Hall. And one day I get a call from the city manager. Roger, you got to come down here right now. And I was like, wow, he sounds angry. Okay. So I come down there. I walk in, and there's city manager, chief of police, 3 librarians, 2 council ladies.
Yeah.
And they're telling me all the things that's going wrong. All of it. How kids are coming out of school. They built this beautiful library for the kids. They're come out of school, and they walk down, and they just tear up the library. And they're telling me this stuff. And I'm listening. And they go all around. The librarians are upset. They want to do the right thing with the kids. They don't know how to control them.
Right.
And so they call me. I said, so let me get this straight. You built this beautiful building, City Hall, with a library attached. And you had one space left over. So you leased it to a donut shop. And so these kids come out of middle school. They walk 3 or 4 blocks down here. They walk through the front door, buy 12 donut holes and a Monster Energy drink, and leave through the other door into your library. And the librarians looked at them and went, crap, we did it to ourselves. And they said, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And the councilwoman goes, so what are you going to do about it? Like, oh. I said, well, I guess.
Asked you.
Yeah, no, didn't ask, told me.
Oh.
What are you going to do about it? Basically, it's your, now it's on you.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay. I go, well, I guess I'll just add this to a bus stop. And we'll bus your little hooligans, that's what I call them, to the YMCA. And they go, you can do that? Yep. When can you start? Tomorrow. You can react that fast? I said, I drive the bus.
Yeah.
So I would go to the schools, and I'd go to the library, pick up all the kids. And so the next thing I did was I put a middle school teacher volunteering as a homework club inside the teen center and one down at the library. They gave me a table and I had a little sign, homework club. It's for the kids that didn't want to come to the Y.
Sure.
And so the kids would come into the Y. They'd get all their homework done. And then they'd play. And they'd go home about 8 o'clock at night. And their homework was done. A lot of times they'd been fed. And they were tired and ready to go to bed. And the parents were loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it. We ended up giving them free teen memberships to the Y.
400 plus kids.
And the parents were going, there must be something really cool there if these kids are hanging out.
Yeah.
So they joined the Y as members.
Of course.
Right? I was getting calls from the schools. This is when the time of the month when the kids were running out of money for their lunches and the kids couldn't eat. So they would tell me. So we had, just because it's Thursday parties. That may Tuesday, might be one. Just
because it's whatever day.
We'd barbecue hot dogs, hamburgers, have spam eating contests.
Nice.
Pickles on a stick,
Yeah. Did it start back then?
Yeah, that's what I was doing back then.
We'll bring that around full circle
in
a little while.
And so, I mean, we were going with that, and that's when my daily bread started.
Okay.
Because it started, the executive director asked and said, hey, can you send out an inspirational message every day?
Oh, yeah.
I said, sure. she would do an operational one, and I did my first one went out to 6 people internally in the Sherwood Y.
Yeah.
Within a year, we'd blown out the email servers, and had to go on the web and create this website called the Daily Bread for Ragamuffins.
Yeah.
And we ended up in 32 country, thousands of readerships, I forget now. And so it was just cooking right along. And Murdoch Trust, then the Columbian actually, it was the Columbian came, and they say, we want to interview you. We see what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
So they interviewed me. And the running joke is I was the first pastor to ever hit the front page of the Oregonian, and I hadn't embezzled money, cheated on my wife, or hurt a kid.
I was going to say.
You know?
Yeah.
It was
for
actually
a positive reason.
Yeah. And Murdoch Trust read that paper.
Oh.
And they came to Bruce Patton and said, hey, write up a proposal. We want to fund this.
Mm.
So he did, and they said we were going to fund it in Clark County.
And before, your work at the teen center was what was funding it.
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, man, okay, I'm right here now.
Yeah.
You know? Well, they put me through a national search.
Okay.
I'm sitting out there with people from California to do this job that Murdoch actually put out because of me in the first place. So I had a little bit of an attitude.
And what year is this?
2010 is when I came up here in 2011.
So 2010 was when it started.
Yeah, and then 2011 is when I came up.
Here to Clark to fulfill that
grant. And that grant was a 3-year reduction, kind of like we do with a church planting.
Oh, yeah.
100% year 1, 60% year 2, 30% year 3, you're done.
So you're having to raise
the
goal is to raise your own funds, yeah.
Yeah. And so from 2011 till about 2017, I was basically a self-funded volunteer.
Okay.
I raised my funds. If I didn't raise my funds for my salary, the CEO would have gone, it's been a good ride, but you're out. If I couldn't do any programs if I didn't have money for it. But obviously, it was successful.
Yeah, highly successful. So, yeah, if I'm putting all the pieces together, which is kind of makes sense to you, is these were the kids no one else wanted. And you wanted them.
Yeah, one kid's story would be me and a pastor were having lunch at a Chinese restaurant, and the waitress comes up and goes, Roger, can you help me with my son? He's wanting to quit school. And so I said, yeah, bring him in. I'll talk to him. Well, that was when I met Peter. He's a Korean boy in Sherwood, Oregon. And the thing about Sherwood, Oregon is it just didn't, we had a lot of diversity, but we just didn't have enough white Presbyterians from Nebraska there. And so this poor Korean kid was being picked on mercilessly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so he's being bullied. Well, so I saddled up next to him, and he became my top volunteer, and he was always with me. And, well, he ended up graduating. And a few years later, I was up working out, probably because of the pastries, upstairs, and front desk comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Roger, we need you down there. We're slammed." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I walked down my workout gear, and they gave me the job the chaplain couldn't screw up, which was scanning the cards. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm doing that. This guy walks up. We have 2 people I'll start with in the Y. We have the morning people, we have the evening people.
Yeah.
The morning people are happy. They're getting their workout done in the morning, and everything's going to be good. The evening people are a little pissier.
Oh, sure.
They've had a day.
They've had a day, and they're trying to get the stress off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my thing. And this guy looks at me and goes, "Harvard, huh?" I go, "Yep." He goes, "You go to Harvard?" I go, "Nope."
You had a Harvard shirt on?
Yeah.
Oh, that was your workout gear?
Yeah. And he goes, "You're just trying to get us to think you're smarter than the rest of us. I go, no. And he goes, then what's with the shirt then? I go, you want to know what the shirt's about? He goes, yeah, I do. So I'll tell you. So I started talking about Peter and how he worked with me.
Yeah.
I said, and he ended up graduating high school. And on his first day in college, he walked into the student union, bought a T-shirt, wrote a note, and mailed it to me saying, thank you for believing in me when I couldn't even believe in myself. Now he's graduated Harvard. He's got a bioengineering degree and makes prosthetic limbs for people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's there you go. There's a story of impact.
Oh, and the funny part about it was, that guy just goes, and walked by. The guy behind him wrote a $1,000 check on the spot. I didn't even ask. He's going, I want to be part of this.
Yeah. And that is what you found from the people just wanting to write a check to fund the impact that you're making. That's the story of 2011 through 2018.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So take us on that journey.
Yeah.
How did it always just come in?
Well, it was
You
really,
always had enough.
Yeah. It was always funny. I had to raise my own funds.
Yep.
So there was some stress there. But I was also that guy that the crazier the idea, the better. Right? And so, like, I'd be fundraising, and if somebody didn't want to give to chaplaincy, so to speak, or mission advancement, but they wanted to give to aquatics, I'd turn that over there and talk to aquatics.
Sure.
Give them the money, or youth development, or healthy living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just always was talking with people about impact. And, we had a number of years ago, we had a bunch of kids that were drowning.
Yeah.
And so I said, that's just not right. And the reason they were drowning was because they couldn't afford swim lessons. So I said, I want to give free swim lessons. And the ED goes, we don't do that. It's a pay to play. I go, well, I'm going to do it. And so I walk over to the aquatics department and I said, hey, how much is it for swim lessons? And they go, well, for you, Roger. I go, no, I want to know your non-member most expensive rate. They told me. I said, okay, thanks. I walked out, called one of my donors. I had enough for 300 swim lessons.
Wow.
That first year. The next year, Why the USA gave me money because they heard about it.
Wow.
It's insane. Eddie was always like, well, I don't know how to do this. And then I find out about the kids, right, that are at risk for hunger in the summer. So we started the summer lunch program.
Yep.
And, we were the largest feeding site in Vancouver all the way up until COVID when we had to shut it down.
Yeah.
We had one where this 12-year-old girl, Candace, was dying of bone cancer. She'd already had her one leg amputated. She had no hair. She had two little sisters. And I was up on a treadmill once again. I tend to live up there.
You like the treadmill a lot.
I'm a gym rat.
I mean, you have to have it, I'm sure. A lot of pastries.
Yeah. And so I'm up there. The membership supervisor comes up, and she's crying, and I hit the stop button. I know something's happening. So she takes me down. She tells me about Candace and David, the father, and how he wants her to swim, but he can't afford a membership. He spent all his money trying to save his daughter. And so I called him. I said, just bring in your kids. It's on me. I got this. Just come in and be a dad and have fun with your kids.
Yeah.
So then I walk over to Eddie's office, told him what I did. I didn't ask, I just did it. And Eddie turned and looked at me, and he had tears in his eyes. And then he doesn't say a word, as Eddie always does. Turns back, sends an email. Well, he sends it to the board of what I did.
Okay.
5 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. I got this. How much do we need? Do. So that's how we started. And then we adopted that family. because I'd go to visit them. They had a table, 4 chairs, a couch, beds, and that was it. He'd sold all his other furniture. No TV, nothing, because he didn't have any money. He lost his job because he spent so much time at the hospital with Candace. And so we decide we're going to give him Thanksgiving. The board does.
Yeah.
And so we give him this great Thanksgiving. And it was amazing, and everything else was really cool. Well, 2 weeks later, Candace dies. And I report it to the board. And the board goes, well, we're going to give them a Christmas. Go find out what they want. So I go back to David, and I said, David, the board wants to buy Christmas. Give me a list. And so he does. Socks, underwear, T-shirts, shoes, because that's where he's at.
Yeah.
I take it to the board. The board goes, it's not good enough. Go back. I said, Dave, I need toys and stuff, too. So he makes a list. I bring it back to the board. More. I go, okay. I said, David, write it all down. Anything you can think of. And so the day before Christmas, the board shows up at their house. Wrapped packages. A tree. Lights. Ornaments. All the fixings. And gave those 2 girls and David Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And then he was really mad at God. And he goes, I want to move to Denver. I got to get out. I got to get away. It's too much here.
Yeah.
So I called one of my friends that was in Denver. And he says, have him stop by and interview. And the guy ended up hiring him. He had a job. He's doing great. Last time I talked to him, he's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing impact. So let's talk about, I know Eddie likes to refer to, and you guys talk about the bullseye, right?
Yeah.
Maybe real quick.
The bullseye?
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, the bullseye is staff and volunteers,
Yep.
members, and then community. So everything we do in chaplaincy, we run through that lens.
Yep.
Okay? I spent time as a chaplain in a burn ward. Most people thought I spent most of my time with the patients. No, most of my time was spent with the doctors and the nurses because they were traumatized about what they had to do to these people to
Absolutely.
get them better. Same with here.
Yeah.
Life happens when you're busy planning life. And life will go.
They don't need to see my face. It's okay.
That's all right. So somebody will come in and had life happen.
Yeah.
They sit in the chair like you.
Which appropriately I'm sitting in this chair today.
Yes. And they offload their stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like Teflon. I take their stuff. It doesn't stick to me. But then they can now go and be their very best self while they're taking these beautiful little humans to teach them how to be beautiful big humans, elderly, whoever they're working with.
Yeah.
Right? And so most of my work's done with the staff. But then again, then I have my members, and then I saw hospital visits, funerals.
Yeah.
I think I've married off, 6 or 7 staff in the Y in my tenure.
Been on probably countless hospital visits.
Oh, God, yeah. It's 24/7. I mean, I would get home at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, sit down to eat, and get a call, and I'd be in a hospital till midnight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, God, Lori must have hated it. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it took.
Yeah. So 2011 to 2018. So then you got
Operationalized in 2018.
Yeah.
Because when I got Clark, they were losing around $500,000 a year, and they had about $20,000 in fundraising.
Okay.
By 2017, we were like $150,000 in fundraising, and we were breaking even. And so the board says, why don't we operationalize this guy?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, and so they did.
And so all that fundraising then went to programs. Now, instead of staffing,
Right.
it's going where it should go.
Yeah, all of it, 100% went to programs.
Yeah. So that changed the game here at Clark
Even
substantially.
more. Oh, yeah.
Brought about even more impact. I remember seeing just some of the numbers and some of the things we were able to do because of that.
Yeah.
And still are able to do. We'll get to chaplaincy here in a minute, but I brought up the bullseye because 2020 there was this weird thing that happened.
Yeah, called DIVOC, or is it COVID?
Yeah, COVID.
DIVOC
COVID-19.
backwards is COVID.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I know.
That was a time in our lives.
It was, wasn't it?
We had a CEO transition at the Y.
We did. I had cancer.
You had cancer a couple of times. So that bullseye probably came very much into the light during COVID.
Mm-hmm. It did.
So what did that look like, walking staff and members through in our lifetime? Probably the craziest thing we've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm that guy with a plethora of useless knowledge. So a bit of a historian. Mm-hmm. And I knew about the Spanish flu during 1917, the Spanish flu epidemic.
Yep.
They went global, same thing. Took a little longer because they didn't have airplanes, they just had boats.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But that went from 1917 to 1922. Okay. And so everybody in the Y, when COVID hit, was like, oh, we got to shut down. If this isn't over by August, we're going to be done. That was March. I go, it's not going to be done in August. And they go, what do you mean? I go, the Spanish flu went from 1917 to 1920. Yeah, but we have immunization now. I go, do we? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think letting the virus just run and boom, although it's a lot more deadly, would be faster than trying to.
Right.
And they didn't, everybody's, but yeah, we went from what? 2019 is when it opened up to what, 2023 by the time we were done?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Yeah, 2020 to 2023.
Yeah, but that's why they call it COVID-19.
Yeah, I got you.
It was 2019 when
right.
it started, yeah.
Yeah, it was like people had it in
Didn't
probably
know it.
November.
Yeah, they didn't know it.
October, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, I remember talking to people at our event in 2019 at the chaplaincy event who were like, I've gotten sick. Like,
yeah, I could have lost my
weird
taste.
sickness, lost my taste. Yeah, people talking about
Couldn't
that.
smell. Yeah, weird.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, walked a lot of people through a lot of mess through that time, all while you were dealing with cancer.
Yeah, because and I had no immune system. I figured I was done.
Right.
COVID, no immune system, and I'm going in to get chemo.
Yeah.
I made a lot.
You were
of money.
very high risk.
A little bit. I was. I raised a lot of funds when I was at the dairy farm because we were all hooked up like dairy cattle.
Yeah.
And so I'd call people and they go, what are you doing? Oh, I'm getting chemo. What do you need? Well, I'm thinking I need some money for this. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So that brought us to 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had this epiphany, light bulb moment, thought of chaplaincy needs to grow.
Yeah.
Needs to get bigger. We need to have more impact, and to have more impact, we need more people. Mm-hmm. So thus began, and it probably started in your mind before.
A long time. Yeah. So I was a professor at Fox.
Yeah.
And so Jenny Harrop was my boss, and so we would sit at faculty meetings and get in trouble because we weren't paying attention. We'd be yakking and whatever. I know, I'm a troublemaker. And we talked about it for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy that actually walked into a hospital after a mom lost her kid right after somebody else walked out saying maybe God needed your baby more than you did.
Oof.
And I got left. I go, that's wrong. And the way the Y was working back then was you didn't have to have any credentialing to be a chaplain. What they said is, go talk to Roger. I'll make you a chaplain, but then I want you to talk to Roger and he'll show you how he's doing it. And every one of them thought, once they got the title, they didn't even need to talk to me. I am already a chaplain. It's like, that's pretty impressive. Why did I spend 4 years in seminary for this?
Yeah, seriously.
If I could just go, and osmosis hits, and right?
Yeah.
And they all failed. Every single one of them failed.
Yeah.
They did.
So what changed?
Well, we decided we need to train. And
Yeah.
Tyler came and said, yeah, let's do it. And so Jenny and I created this Track 2, which is 2 years at George Fox under a special chaplaincy program of conflict resolution. I took everything and just wiped out everything they didn't need to be a chaplain and kept everything you do.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution, worldviews and identity, systems counseling, right?
Yeah.
And so went through all of that. And the chaplains we have now, I can retire knowing I'm leaving it in a good spot because they can handle it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what a legacy.
I don't know.
I mean, we've walked through quite a bit of history there in very little time. I know you don't like to take the credit for a lot of this stuff, but you're the guy sitting in the seat making it happen.
No, I mean, it's hard for people. I don't take no easily.
Yeah.
So when they say we're not going to feed people, because this is a membership facility, we're not going to let homeless people in.
Right.
Oh, we did. And then it became a signature program.
Yeah.
Free swim lessons became a signature program.
Yeah.
The partnerships we've made with like Open House Ministries and a lot of the other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So if you were to kind of leave people as an employee, we know that you'll continue to have a voice. You end your tenure as an employee of the YMCA tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what's your dream for the YMCA as you leave? Mm-hmm. And what do you hope for, see in your mind for the future?
We had my little retirement party yesterday, and I'll tell the same thing here that I said there. You know why? We're really good at numbers, right? We fed this many kids. We've given away this many swim lessons. We've got this many kids scholarshiped into camps. And I got a nudge a little while ago, and we talked about it yesterday. It's called We'll Never Know. We'll never know how many kids didn't drown because we gave them absolutely free swim lessons.
Yeah.
We'll never know how many kids didn't feel the pangs of hunger because we fed them. We'll never know how many people didn't become homeless because they didn't have to choose between food and rent. We'll never know how many people didn't live as long as they should have or lived longer than they would have without our active older adults program.
Yeah.
We'll never know how many people didn't commit suicide because we had battling loneliness and social isolation. We'll never know.
No.
But we've got a lot of really good people. And the Y is not a building. The Y is the people in the programs. The only thing the building does is give us a place to be a hub.
Yeah.
So as long as they keep the magic sauce, and I think magic sauce is chaplaincy. because before a crazy old guy came up here, we weren't feeding people. We didn't bring our child development center kids over to the health and wellness. They never saw it. They were two separate.
Right.
We never worked with homeless. We never did a lot of things. And there's a lot of Ys that aren't doing any of those things.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a chaplain. They don't have somebody that can free up enough time to do what they need to do.
Sure.
And then have that piece to it.
Yeah.
But we do here. And I hope it continues. And I hope more and more people want to go through the program. And I hope more and more people want to do what we've done at Clark.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what Clark has done and you don't know, just call up the Clark County Family YMCA and ask.
Yeah. And the impact is there.
Yeah.
People can feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to sit there for a minute, and you're just going to listen to me.
All right.
So we met in 2012-ish when I came to Rhapsody. I didn't know a lot about the YMCA. I just knew that there was a church that met in the YMCA, and I had a good friend named Matt who went here. So I decided we needed to do some healing from a church that had hurt us, and this was a good place to do that. Met you along the way. We got to know each other. I was the youth pastor for a while, built a friendship, and then I became the lead pastor, and our friendship deepened even more through COVID, through all of that stuff. I just want to say, and I'll sit in the seat vicariously for all of the people who are watching this, thank you. Thank you for your obedience to God. Thank you for the countless hours that you put in behind the scenes that nobody else knows about, that I don't even know about, that I can only imagine. And that includes, because it's like with being a pastor. You work a certain amount of hours, but you never stop working.
No.
You take it with you. You take it with you to bed. You dream about it. You have nightmares about it. You stress about it. You think about it while you're at dinner with your wife. You think about it when you're trying to have family time, when you're on vacation, all of that. And I know that you have done nothing but think about the impact that you can have in people's lives. It shows when you're in the hospital and the nurse comes in and you're talking to her about God. And you're not turning off that because that's who you are, right? You've helped me through my dad, through losing my dad, through grieving that, but also getting past some of the issues that I've had with him. We've sat together and laughed. We've sat together and cried. We've sat together and talked. And you've been one of the most valuable people in my life. So thank you for being that. Thank you for being you. And it's more than just what you've done, because you're highly capable. You can do a lot. It's who you are. And I'm grateful to know you for who you are. And I know that a lot of people who are watching are grateful. I know that just what we've witnessed yesterday at your retirement, hearing all the people talk, it's really comes down to the relationships that you've built. The stuff you've done is amazing, but you've built relationships and you've helped people through some of life's worst things. So now you get to just go and be, and we know retirement's not, you can't turn yourself off. No. You are who you are, no matter where you go, right? Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah.
So that's not going to change, but hopefully you'll be able to get some rest. You'll be able to heal a bit from all the wounds that this place has brought your way, whether it was intended or not. You know, all of that you'll have a good process and all that, and we're all with you.
Thank you.
I think it's on this side though.
There it is.
We're all with you all the way.
You got it. Yeah.
And to walk through all of that, and you know, the solidarity of being together and all of what you walked through, but which really was a vulnerability on your part of where we're all finding ourselves stuck in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to be alone in that.
Yeah.
And that's what you've helped show us all. So bravo, my friend. You've done well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that will conclude today's episode. So anything else you want to say?
No, it's literally was an honor and a humbling to be able to serve here in the YMCA. And God likes to use a cracked pot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. You just have to have a heart. Love God, love man, serve both.
Yeah. Willingness.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
So till next time, this
Yep.
has been the Muddy Boots Podcast.
Yep.
Love you.
Love you.